Yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 178 of Splinterlands 101. Joining us again tonight, Forest Gentleman Have a Live, Chairman of the DAO, etc., Matt Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
Gio did message earlier, said he's running late, so we may see him a little later. What's new for you? Actually, I watched this movie. I'm guessing you've probably seen Wolf Crater or whatever it is. About that, based on a true story. The guy was going around like picking up hitchhikers on the Nullarbor and taking them off and torturing them. Oh, Wolf Creek, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's called Wolf Creek. There's a big crater there. That's where I was getting confused.
Yeah.
South Australia, huh? And I watched this other movie recently. I can't remember. It's also set in South Australia. But a couple of kids that parents die, so they get sent through child services to this person's house, and she's like again, psycho nut job, but based on a true story, South Australia. So considering how small the population there is, you've got quite a large percentage of weirdos.
Yeah, that Snowtown thing was pretty morbid and gross. The bodies in the barrels in the disused bank vault, and just raiding the welfare. I think a lot of that is, I always tie it straight back to government, but it is, if we're sending free money to unproductive people, then killing those unproductive people and getting in the way and enjoying that free money ourselves becomes a viable strategy. And I have no idea how many people out there are their welfare is being paid into a bank account that they can't access because they've been dead for 6 months. It's welfares, pensions, all of that stuff. Just paying somebody to be unproductive means that there's no checks and balances. The payments continue. It's not like you say, this unproductive person stopped being productive. If I stop logging in for work, they're going to say, "Hey, Matt's I work remotely. I work from home. Matt's not producing anything. Let's stop paying him." But like the Social Security, what they found they've cut off payments for several hundred people who are 120 years old plus in the US, because clearly these people are not actually around anymore. Things like that Doge has uncovered, and that's all great with natural death, but if you've got then incentive to bump somebody off, their living expenses go to zero.
Yeah.
I mean, dead people don't have any living expenses, so you stuff them in a barrel and with acid in a disused bank vault, and it's the stuff of nightmares. But that's what happens, right? You set up the incentives and then act surprised when these things happen. But yeah, serial killers picking up hitchhikers, absolutely. There's an old joke about Ivan Milat, who was a terrible one of these guys who'd pick up girls in Belangolo State Forest. And he was active for a number of years and had a lot of victims. But they say he's walking through the deep dark forest late at night with this. We got him. We got Gio.
Got someone. Yep.
There he is. Hey, Gio. You caught me in the middle of a distasteful joke.
I remembered the name
of
that movie. It was Bring Her Back.
Bring Her Back. Okay. No, I haven't heard that.
Have a look for it. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's true story based in SA, that's the deal. There's a girl famously snatched not far from me, Rihanna Barreau. I remember that was early 90s, I reckon, just gone, just vanished.
They talk about all the cases of people going missing, like young teenagers these days around Australia.
Specifically South Australia. Well, such a small population, but such a large percentage of like weirdos and psychos.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and Bring Her Back. Check that movie out, Gio.
Bring Her Back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gio.
Yeah.
Ivan Milat's walking through the forest, dark, deep in the forest, dark, with the teenager. She's obviously really nervous, right? She's like, yeah. So she's making conversation. She's like, it's spooky, isn't it? It's spooky tonight. He said, "You think it's spooky? I got to walk back alone."
Oh shit! I didn't even know there was a joke with him. Huh? That's a good one. That's a good one.
What's with the name, and how do we even say it?
It's Pousse, man. What are you talking about?
That's not.
Ya supi, ya poofy. Oh, that's all right. It's fine. It's the same thing. It's just mingled.
Okay, just mixed up. Got it. Okay.
You say it as you know it. People look at it as they don't know it.
Right. Actually, another really bizarre movie. I've only just started watching it today and ran out of time. Have you ever watched Mad God? I'm only like 30 minutes into it, and it's an hour and a half. There doesn't seem to be a storyline or anything so far. It's just like a continuous bad acid trip.
What?
It's like I don't know what's going on. It's just bizarre, freaky, like it's.
Bob, I
Yeah.
swear you're like a movie show buff. Like you watch so many shows. I love it. I love
There's
it.
a lot of time on my hands over here.
No, you doing it even down here. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's two. Go on.
I was going to say, subject for conversation today is land, because those who might have seen it, Azicon put out a post specifically aimed at people who have 5 plots. And he said in the past he's always looked at the top leaderboard type things. That was due to a restriction in accessing data. Now he has access to more data, he did a specific post on 5 plots. So obviously that got my attention. I have 5 plots. And looking through it, and I've really realized just what a mess my 5 plots are. And we've got a lot more information now than we had when we first set them up. So out of my 5 plots, I've got 1 plot that can grow grain. So I'm growing grain on that, but that's not enough to feed the other 4 plots. And I remember too at the beginning when we were looking at the PP values, I was looking at economy. So rather than going 50k to max them, looking at gold foils, alphas, things that have with high PP with a lower percentage. So, but looking at his post and then checking mine, I'm actually losing. Every single plot I have is costing me money. I don't have a single plot that's making me anything at the moment. So I really need to look at my plots and see what I can do to get them. Because my region in Queenstone, where I have 3 plots, not one of those plots can grow grain. Or another option is my research plot at the moment, and I mentioned we really don't know the true value of research at the moment, so I don't mind spending money on that plot. But my 3 plots in Queenstone, they're costing me money to harvest. I've got to buy grain every week to harvest them. So maybe I might be able to start a research plot in Queenstone, which I can. I can have a research facility in Queenstone, and then turn my plot that's currently doing research, make that a grain producing plot. But I would literally have to start again, and what would happen with the research that I've accumulated? If I change plots completely, what
research you've harvested stays in the region that it was harvested.
Yeah.
And there's no method to move it across. So say if you've earned say 8,000 research in one region, and then you move your research hut to rebuild it in a different region, you'll start accumulating there. So if your goal is to get 10,000 research so that you can buy a pass to start to build an Aura lab, a permit, well then that will get in the way of that. But if there's not some specific goal, then it's okay to have research in various different places. So I have quite a lot of. I got basically a 1 point something million research in each of my 2 regions. Mm-hmm. So when it came time to buy a permit, I just picked a region basically at random and just went, okay, well, it's 10,000 research coming off that regardless. So we don't know what research is worth. So that's where you're prioritizing the long term rather than getting stuff that's pulling down, focusing on things that you can sell immediately. That's why it looks unprofitable. But research is. I'd have a look at research. Me personally, I acquired what I believe is sufficient research before the recent change, and when Aura became an option, I pulled everything off the research labs and then applied that PP to Aura and other resources instead, just because I feel like I stockpiled enough research, and I can go back to it if need be, but it's just I personally have enough. So have you looked at how much research you have in total and decided what for you is enough long-term planning, and when you want to bring it back to more short-term and something liquid, things that you can play around with then? Because short-term liquid stuff is not necessarily a mistake depending on what you do with the income. So I, for example, am selling a lot of wood to buy Chaos Legion packs. And those packs have cards that I can then put on other plots, right? So there's different ways of planning for the long term. It's just AsiaCon, who is a massive asset to the community, by the way, especially the hours of unpaid labor that he's putting into all this and communicating with people and communicating this stuff. What his metrics are looks at one way that you can generate, I guess, profit, that your plots can be profitable, but you can use that profit for long-term benefit. Or there's another way using those plots for long-term benefit, which is research, but we can't put a price tag on that or a figure on that, so they look unprofitable. So it's up to you how you want to go about it.
Yeah. So I've got 13.5K. I know it's stuck in. Where do I find my research balance, my total?
I believe it's up on the right-hand side. It's a bit research. So 35K, and then you need to go check your other region and then just manually add them together. I've never seen it displayed as a total anywhere. If somebody knows, let us know.
This is the only plot I have that's doing research.
Okay, well that'll be your total then. That's
all right. Well, what I was thinking of is in Queenstone. See, I've got 3 plots here just making stone. One of these is rare, so that's a waste, really, isn't it? Just making stone.
Well, I mean, if you're selling the stone and getting income off it and using that income for other productive things, then it's not a waste.
But I'm not so. I mean, at the moment, it's costing me more in grain than I'm getting in stone, I think, because I've got 3 plots here that all need grain.
Yeah.
So well, if I was to change this to research. So if I was to change this to research with what I've currently got on here, then I can convert the other one into grain. Actually, let's just check first. So my research plot, let's check that I can grow grain. Oh, that solves that dilemma.
Can't do it anyway.
I can't grow grain anyway.
You'd just be getting wood.
So I can either do SPS, which I'm not interested in mining at the moment, maybe later when they stop giving it away as rewards. Okay, well that solves that dilemma. All right. So, yeah, I can't grow grain anywhere else. This is the only plot I have that can grow grain.
Yeah, grain is fairly cheap to buy though. So, if your business model is buying it off the market and using it to grow stone, I almost feel like in your situation, just specializing in stone with a looking at research as like a side project is probably the better option, right? So you just import grain and use that to generate stone. You put all your best producing, highest PP, all of that stuff on stone, especially your rare plot there, then you've got that stone. Maybe you could become every now and then you harvest all of your stone, swap half of it for DEC, and then throw that in the liquidity pool. And then what happens is over time you grow your position in the stone liquidity pool and actually become like a full-on stone aficionado, right? Specialize rather than trying to be pulled in 8 different directions. Just say, I'm not going to stop focusing on stone until I am 0.5% of the liquidity pool until I'm whatever benchmark you want, and then just focus really heavily on that, because stone's not going away. People are going to keep needing it. People are going to keep buying it, moving between resources, and you get a little sliver of that every time. The bigger you are, the bigger that sliver is. So that personally is what I would do, I think, if I was in your shoes.
So I would need to be buying grain for 5 plots. Because four of them are making stone, one of them needing research. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yep.
Right.
And I mean, you're going to have to buy grain anyway. You've only got one grain plot, so by all means, throw a lot of PP onto it. But you're going to have to buy grain, or you're going to have to buy another grain producing plot. They're really your only options.
Yeah. So what is the price of grain compared to the price of stone?
Well, that's where AsiaCon's tools are really, really good, because he tracks the different prices over time. I haven't checked for a week or two, so I'm not quite sure where that is. I guess everything normalizes over time, but if you have those plots, then you've got the advantage over people who don't. Just like people who have grain plots have the advantage over people who do. So I don't know whether it's worth investigating, perhaps buying another grain plot if there's one that comes up available in the relevant region, just to make yourself a bit more grain independent. That'll of course mean more DEC staked and more cards with more PP required, but long term might be the keystone, that 6th plot that helps to make the others more beneficial to you over time.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that at the moment I can't make enough grain to accomplish anything. So yeah, why make grain at all? Let's have a look at that. Let's go here. So here's my workers. So if we change and make it a look at this, no stone. The plot that I'm growing grain on can't do stone.
Yeah, no, it's either or. So it's either grain or stone or wood or iron.
Okay.
So I mean, the other ones, SPS, research, and aura, you can grow anywhere. But obviously, if you have a magical or a occupied plots, they get bonuses from that. But so I think just keep doing what you're doing.
But all 5 of my plots are losing money.
Well,
that's not a good long-term plan.
No. According to I see Shinlo down there. According to AsiaCon, right? But you're prioritizing research. So I guess if grain is too expensive compared to stone, maybe.
So the other option is I turn, because it seems to be a waste just making grain here when it's not doing really anything for me, except costing me money to send it to another region. What if I have 2 plots doing research and then 3 on stone?
Well, if you do that, keep in mind that you're going to look even less profitable next time AsiaCon runs a report, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming he's valuing research at nothing. So you're going to, if your concern is looking profitable on his report, then you're going to find that
his report really highlighted the fact to me that I'm actually not. So it's not just theoretically, I am actually losing money. So
you could you could do something else with it. Aura. You could. You said you got 13,000, right?
Yeah, on my research plot. So change that one to Aura Lab.
Well, you can change this to Aura.
But I don't have research points here. Don't I need 10,000 research points?
You do. Although I think you can spend the permit. Can you buy the permit in one region and spend? I think the permit's locked to yourself. So you can buy the permit I mean, we want to double check this before you commit to it.
Well,
but I believe you can buy the permit and then use it anywhere.
So I've got 35k research.
Yeah, nice.
So I can buy.
You could do that if you wanted to produce. The only issue I can see is that, okay, instead of making grain, now you're making aura. But and look, there are a lot of people that can't make aura because they don't have the research points, right? So then you've got a bit more of a captured market. The only thing I could say is that in order to harvest aura, you need grain and stone and iron and wood. And if you don't have those coming in from other plots in that region automatically, then that becomes a lot of clicking to go and buy all that stuff every time you want to do a harvest of aura. However, once you do that harvest of aura, you can turn that into midnight potions and sell them.
All right, so
aura, go on.
If I'm doing aura, then so this one has enough. I can change it to aura. You don't. All right, so I need a permit.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what the 10. Or do I need to spend this 10,000?
You permanently lose. You permanently lose the research, but it turns into a permit which you own and can move from plot to plot. But the permit, your one permit means you can have one research lab anywhere. 2 permits means you can have 2 research labs. So you can knock them down and rebuild. You can knock them down and rebuild somewhere else. So you permanently spend 10,000 research.
Yeah.
To get a permit to build an aura lab.
Yeah.
And you use that permit. You swap the permit for a lab, and then if you demolish the lab, you get your permit back again.
Okay.
So you are permanently losing like a third of your research that you've accumulated over time. So it's a big investment. But then you're not competing with the people who haven't done that or haven't been able to do that in producing aura. You can't sell your aura, but you can use it to manufacture midnight potions and sell those.
Yeah.
But harvesting that aura requires the input of the grain, the stone, the wood, and the iron, which you will need to buy. It's not overly expensive, but you need to have them, right? You need to actually have them and then sell the midnight potions for whatever the market will accept.
You need to explain in smaller chunks, because by the time you get to the end of what you're saying, I've forgotten completely what you started saying.
All good.
So if I want to make this an aura lab, how do I spend 10,000 research?
So you go to I think it's the artisan, back out of here, as in, click over there, and back, go a bit back, basically to where it's like production. Keep going back. Okay, see where it says production there?
Yeah.
Now see on the right, it says artisan quarter.
Aura lab permits, artisan quarter,
yeah.
Yep.
So in there, and there's 3 tabs. You want the right tab. So this is right here is where you manufacture midnight potions. Here's where you buy a permit. So you select what region you've got your research in. You want to spend your research from, and then you say yes. I want to buy a permit to build an aura lab. And
where
then
do
you
I
buy
select the region from?
I think it's the first. Is that the first drop down menu?
That's
Worksite or oh no, it's top left. Go higher. It's a little counterintuitive, but go up a little bit higher.
There's no higher.
Yeah, there is. You've got more screen.
Worksite or a lab is the only.
Yeah, if you go up and to the left, just move your mouse up and to the left and keep going even longer than you think. Stop. See where it says select region? Just to your right, it says select region. So you pick which region you have your research in.
Clifton. Okay.
Yep. And now it says it's checked that you do have enough there, so you can apply for permit and pay your 10,000 research to buy a permit. But it's worth considering first before you do that, because you can't get your research back, right?
Yeah.
And research in future is harder to come by than research that you have already, which you didn't struggle too much for. So to get 10,000 research in future to replace this research would cost you quite a bit in.
How else do I get a permit?
Opportunity cost. That's the only way to get a permit. You can't even buy them off other people. So you buy this permit, and then you've got permission to build an aura lab, and then you can use that to manufacture midnight potions and whatever potion comes up next. Right? There are other potions planned. So once you've got the lab,
spend this because what you're saying is getting harder and harder. This is the easiest 10K of research I'm ever going to be able to make.
Well, research is now harder than what it was for the last couple of years. So the last couple of years, making research was simpler. It was easier. You just had to feed grain to your workers. Now, to get research, I believe you need grain and wood and stone and iron to harvest research. So it's more difficult now. So what I'm saying is, you got yourself 30,000+ research while it was easy to do.
Yeah.
It's no longer easy to do. So your opportunity cost, if you said, oh, that permit was a mistake, man, I shouldn't have bought that permit. Oh, that's all right. I'll just go and get another 10,000 research. You can't get it anywhere near as easily as you were able to in the past. See that? You need to actually see how harvesting research now costs you grain and wood and iron and stone, whereas it didn't previously. It used to just cost grain. So I guess what I'm saying is be careful before you spend the research points, because they're harder to come by now than they were in the past.
Yeah.
So they'll be harder to replace if you decide this was a mistake.
But if I want to be able to start crafting midnight potions, first I need an aura lab.
Yep.
Then what?
And for
what
that,
do I
you
need?
definitely need a permit. Then you definitely need the permit. So I'm not saying it's a mistake to buy the permit. I think in your situation, it's a good idea. It's just that you need to keep that in mind, right? If you decide that you're gonna you don't really feel like making aura at the moment, or your priorities change.
Getting back, because my mind gets stuck somewhere. So everything you say after my mind gets stuck doesn't actually absorb.
Totally fine. Jump in and interrupt me anytime.
So I buy a permit that lets me build an aura. What other expenses are involved with making the potions?
Just those resources, and obviously the PP. So you need monsters with PP. You need the power source. Any titles or totems you want to put on there, right? So just your usual.
This plot
what you put on land.
Already has all of that, though.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, and
so
it's
what
got
else
the DEC
do I
stake.
need to spend to make potions?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, just that 10,000. But then to harvest, you're going to need, just like with research. Like with research, you need all 4 of those at the moment.
Yeah.
You're going to need all 4 of those to harvest aura instead. So you're already you're not changing your situation much. It's just instead of harvesting research, you're harvesting aura, and you can use that to turn into potions and sell them or use them or whatever you like.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea for you.
The only thing I want to do is the fact that I've got this one plot producing grain that's really of no benefit to me. It's not covering my costs. It's not doing anything. So it's like, well, let's do something else with this plot and research.
Yeah.
Either another research or aura. So that's why I'm thinking probably better off to go with the aura.
I think aura. I think it's worth it. And your research is not doing anything for you. You don't get some benefit or reward for holding research, right? It's just sitting there. It's an inactive asset. So that's the point of having it, is so that you can get upgrades like this and sell without worrying about competing with people who didn't. So yeah, I think it's worth doing. So maybe just grab it now.
On the other plot that has the 10K for the permit, if I change that to an aura lab, then I've just got a chunk of research that's just going to sit there and not grow. And I can't add that research to this plot if I make this plot research. So if I buy a permit on the other one, can I use that permit here on this plot?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you buy the permit with research in any region, and then you can use the permit in any region.
Right, let's do that then.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move. Okay. I almost think you might be better off considering buying 2 permits and building 2 aura labs.
But my concern is the one that I've got the research on, if I convert that from research to aura, then I've just got that, I'm going to have 20K of research. It's just sitting there that can't be added to anything else?
That's right. So you would have burnt through 2/3 of the research you've acquired and won't be adding any more research. But you'll have 2 aura labs producing aura, which can make any sort of potion that's available now and can be sold down the track. So I kind of feel like that. I mean, in my case, I'd
not do
I would.
research at all then.
I think you've done your research. Like you did your research while it was cheap.
Yeah.
Now is the time when you can capitalize on that. What the research that you've accumulated, spend 20,000 of your 30,000 buying 2 permits, and then have 2 aura labs that you can use to, like, when the next potion comes out, you could have one making midnight potions and another one devoted to whatever. I mean, it's all aura, right? You harvest aura, it doesn't matter. You can spend the aura on whatever you like, no matter where
The original goal of the research was for the secret of Pretoria. I'd be pulling myself out of that, wouldn't I?
I think there's 2 elements to the secret of Pretoria. One is total research ever acquired.
Yeah.
Like, so how much research you've made, you've had, which wouldn't change. But then there's also, I believe, total research currently held. So you would be reducing your contribution to that. That's, I think, more on like a region-wide basis, though, or even a what do you call it? Not just region-wide, but also like territory-wide thing. How much total research in the entire territory made up of 20 odd regions, 20 or 30 regions.
All right. So for now, I'll just go with the 1 lab. So
yep. Go back to Artisan Quarter on the previous screen. That's where you buy it.
Yeah, I need to get into the. Might make sure first.
Yep.
And remember, originally some elements of monsters gave you negative. So some of them gave you a bonus, and some of them actually gave you a punishment using certain elements on certain types of land.
Yeah. When there's green and red numbers next to them when you showing that boost or that hindrance when you go to apply the monsters to the different plots.
All right.
Just okay. You want to harvest though. You've got a lot of research there just sitting there, so you're sitting at 100% capacity. So if you can get some wood and stone and iron and do a harvest, that would be good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to send you a bit of stuff if you want. Just tell me what you need in each one, and I'll just send it over to you.
All right, let's just see if I can remember. So we went up Kifton. Potion, yeah. Why?
Sure.
Permits. There we go. This is it, isn't it? I'll just click now, apply for permit.
Yes, yep.
And then I can transfer this permit to one of those where my grain is. Yep.
The permit's at an account level, so it applies to you. It's your permit with current and future plots all eligible, as long as you own them.
Okay.
I was just thinking, I can't actually just send you stone and wood and iron. I don't think.
So I've attained an Aura Lab permit. How do I now get this to...
Well, if you go back to that plot, I reckon when you go to say I want to build an Aura Lab on this plot, it'll say, do you want to apply your permit or whatever? This will you know.
All right.
You can do this because you've got a permit for it.
So this is my plot that's currently making grain.
Do you want to do a harvest first?
Yeah, that's a good idea because I'll lose, won't I?
Yeah, you'll lose.
Yeah.
You'll lose what you haven't harvested if you just.
So harvest.
Yeah. Very handy with grain because it's only costs grain to harvest grain, so that's always a.
And I've only got one plot there that can do grain, so it's not serving me really. Okay, so I've harvested. Back to production. Oh yeah. Manage, change. So now I make this Aura Lab.
Yep.
Build instantly with time crystals and build. That's right.
Yeah, if you're happy to sacrifice the time crystals, why not?
Yeah, I've got plenty.
Yeah.
That's one good decision I did make back in the day when we were all clueless. So might as well get a bunch of these.
Just grab the time crystals, yeah.
Yeah. Build complete. So now I just back out of this.
So now you're generating aura. Yep.
So now when I click harvest, it'll be here.
That's right. That's right. And it will show.
What did we just do? Oh, I'm just saying in the break, I need an SCL, a Splinterlands, an SCA, a Splinterlands certified accountant. There's your Grand Prix analogy again there, Matt, for anyone who's wants to get into the accounting field. We need SCAs.
Well, as Aircon's doing a great job there, just sort of doing that for everybody.
He's doing an amazing job, yeah.
But I think if somebody was to put their hand up and say, "Hey, look, I'll actually manage it all for you," but we don't have the tools to do that anyway. We can't delegate sort of the authority to do that without worrying that somebody's going to run off with everything. You could do stuff, lock everything down, give someone your active key, and then change it 3 days later. All of that to make sure they can't. But yeah, those services will arrive in time.
Yeah. All right. So I now have a permit, and I want to. Actually, we did that, didn't we? I changed it already.
We built the URL lab. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I think all you want to do now is harvest your research because you're 100%.
Okay, yeah, I haven't researched for a couple of weeks because my head was hurting too much every time I looked at it.
All right,
so let's go back to here. Research, yep, okay. So harvest. All right, so I need these. And Matt, thanks for shipping over a little bit of deck there to do this with.
No worries.
So
you just go to the hub, that's it. And then just buy whatever you need. While you do that, I'll just throw out a quick plug to Holazor's got the handwritten community. So the idea is that you actually write a blog post handwritten on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be paper, I guess. Take a photo of it and upload that, and that is the post. So if you like that idea, I see green text from 4chan, and I literally have to click on that and read it. It's just I don't know. Obviously, that's not handwritten. It's just ported in from somewhere else. But for some reason, I find those magnetic. So I don't just read them. So if you're interested in that, if you'd like to post to the handwritten community, we're putting Bob will share the link in the description of the post, in the post. So head over there, join the community, have a look around, see if it fits the bill. And if you decide that you want to jump in and start doing that as well, go for it. Have fun.
I still never remember the difference here between what's iron and what's stone. We need mouse overs or icons that look completely different. So I need 6K of whatever that is. At least when we click on this, it goes to the first one.
Yeah.
So I need 6K.
Yeah.
Wow, stone's expensive. That's good that I'm mining that, I guess.
Yeah.
So 6K.
And you got to say what region you want to send it to.
Gifton. Swap. And 14 of that.
What's our rule sets today? What's our rule set that we're doing?
Equal opportunity. Because we missed it because we were looking at two different lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Clifton.
I'm just getting a challenge ready so we can dive on that when we're.
All right.
And Guyman requested that we discuss campaign mode at some point too, which is pretty cool. I jumped through that the other day. Good fun.
I did that as well. Yeah.
If we get enough time. All right, so I can claim research here.
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was like, wait, what is this? So I just started doing it. And then I think Zircon wrote, or someone, it was Dave who.
Dave McQuay posted in Splinterlands that like don't be
Yeah,
abusing it.
yeah.
Don't be abusing
I had no
it.
clue it was even abuse because I think that I'm not sure, but was the bot using these cards?
I think they're using them in wild, whereas it's the whole
Yeah.
point is that you do this and you get some cards to use in
Yeah.
modern, which is where you have human players only. And I think people
Yeah.
have been somehow harvesting them to use them in wild, and maybe I'm not sure.
Well, it was out of no one's error. No one maliciously. If you just did the campaign, you automatically got those cards.
Yeah,
You know, and it's just like.
Yeah, I think he's not talking to the general.
Okay.
He's talking to people who are deliberately gaming things across multiple, thousands of accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I didn't even see any announcement on campaign mode. Mini Small Holding DM'd me and said, "What's this foundation card that just beat me in battle?" And I'm like, "What? What foundation? What even is that?" And so, we did a bit of collaborating and discerned that it was campaign mode, and this is one of the cards that you get for doing it. So I stepped through campaign mode. It was good fun. I think there's more coming, but it's a great introduction for people who are just arriving at the game. To get
I had no idea about it until I read Dave's post about it. So
Yes.
don't abuse it. And I'm thinking, I don't even know. I've never even heard of it. So they snuck that one in.
And I was like, didn't even know about this. I found it on my own accord, and I was like 2 days before the post.
Yeah, he did clarify that there's substantially more coming to campaign mode. I think he's just trying to make sure we get off on the right foot, and that botters don't see it as an opportunity to stack a whole lot of cards for like survival mode. You got 1,000 copies of a card, you can just play perpetually in survival mode.
Well, but like everything, this is just like the growing pains, right, of something just brand new that's been implemented, and so they saw a loophole. So I was like, okay, they took advantage, and now they've closed it, right? I hope.
Yeah, there's something to be said for exploiting a loophole just to draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Right. Just exploit it until it becomes obvious that it is a loophole, so that you then get motivation to fix it.
Exactly.
I used to have a lot more moral feelings about this, and now I'm like, nah, code is law. If you can do it until they fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're all harvested, Bob. I'll send a challenge to Geo. If
hang on a sec. I'm nowhere near finished yet.
He's keen. He just wants to get into battle. I understand.
So I've just harvested all my stone.
Yeah.
So I've got 20k of it.
Yeah.
So how do I most effectively utilize this? I need some for my research spot. So I guess I should maybe split this in half and send half to my half to my aura and half to my research, half to aura, half to research.
You're going to want to harvest in like a week, right?
Yeah.
I would leave that in the liquidity pool until then. Like have it starting to earn for you. So I would say 20,000 stone. Go to your trade hub, swap half of it for DEC or whatever. How much DEC do you have? Do you got any DEC left? What do you got?
9.8k.
9,000. All right, cool. So throw that stone into the liquidity pool in the meantime.
How do I do that?
Go to trade hub.
Where's trade hub?
Go back, as in click on the and back.
Trade hub.
And go trade hub. And now go to markets. See where it says swap? Higher. Yep, markets. And then go to manage. Or hang on, where is it? This is all markets. Yeah, so you're on my markets. Go to all markets. Yep.
Stone
and now go Stone
DC.
Yep.
Manage.
And manage. Now pick the region that your stone's in.
Yeah.
It's Queenstone. Okay, and just click max.
On stone?
Max on stone, yep. Okay, so putting all of that stone, it's about 2,500 DEC worth. So you can put 2,500 DEC and that stone all into the liquidity pool.
Yeah.
Right? And that will stay in there basically indefinitely. When it comes time to get stone for harvesting and stuff, I would just buy it separately rather than withdrawing this from the liquidity pool. Right? So just probably leave that in there.
Okay. Now, because I did this before several episodes ago.
Mhm.
How do I see now what I've actually got in the liquidity pool?
You go back to My Markets. And it'll show you your percentage in there.
I hate this. This new mouse. You go to click here, but your mouse is a little bit high, and
Oh,
it pulls down over the buttons
yeah.
that you want to click on. So, okay, I need to go back to land. All right. Where are we going? Trade Hub, was it?
Yep, Trade Hub. And then you go
Yep.
My Markets. Oh, Markets, yep.
Markets.
And then you're on. See, now you've got two here in My Markets. So you've got your position in the grain and DEC market and your position in the stone and DEC market.
Oh,
So now you got two positions in the liquidity pools. So that's where it's actually kind of earning for you in the meantime. So for a week now, it'll
yeah.
just sit there earning for you rather than sitting in your account doing nothing, waiting to be used to harvest. So that's where I like to store my assets that I don't need right now in there. And then when I do need those assets to harvest, I just buy them with DEC instead. So that's a way to sort of build momentum there. And so when you are harvesting your stone, and you got a heap of stone and you don't need it, just throw it in the liquidity pool. If need be, swap half of it for DEC and then put them both in the liquidity pool at the same time and grow your stone position. If you grow that position there, what is it at the moment? You're 0.028% of the pool, right? You keep doing this, right, over and over and over again, you can build that right up and you can have a substantial position in the stone and DEC liquidity pool. And then for literally years, players arrive, they swap. I need this, I've got this. They swap, they swap, they swap. Anytime somebody's swapping wood to stone, or anytime stone is involved, you're there getting a sliver of that. So that's been my personal focus. That's what I think you should do with your land, as well as the aura stuff as well.
And we worked out before there's no way to actually tell how much I'm making, is there?
No, I think there's fee. It says fees, total fees, and fees since. Show my fees earned. If you go up a little bit higher, it says show my fees earned. You can turn that
Yeah.
on now,
Yeah.
and you can see in the other one you've earned 27 cents worth of fees in your grain DEC, and nothing yet in the stone because you've just put it in there.
Is it worth
So you've earned.
keeping this grain then, or should I kill this and do it with stone? Or
Well, what's that position worth? About $9. So yeah, look, it might be worth it to you to kill that position. I think it needs to be in there for 30 days. Otherwise, you lose 10%. How long have you had that for? That grain DEC.
is there a way to find out?
I don't know. There's probably a warning when you go to remove it to say, "Warning, you'll lose." You can have a look for sure.
Click on
Just try.
manage. And what
Yeah,
I want
and just
to
go remove. Yeah,
Max.
yeah, yeah,
0%
100%. And
shares
then
under 30 days.
yeah, and then you got to select the region. Yeah, that's good. So no 10% fee. So select the region you want to send your grain to.
Oh, okay. Well, this is making grain, so let's send it to somewhere that's not making grain. So
Yep.
Kifton. Oh, Queenstone, because it's got the three. Yeah, Queenstone. Okay.
And then remove shares.
And how much grain? It's going to send 533k grain.
Yep.
And what happens to that deck?
That you'll get the deck back. You'll have just your balance will increase by 4,700 deck.
Okay.
And I'd recommend using some of that deck to buy some more stone and add more to the liquidity pool.
All
I mean,
right.
it depends what your deck income is like. A week from now, will you have accumulated enough DEC to buy the resources to harvest your aura
I'd
and your
imagine
research?
so. I recently had to spend some deck to balance some things. So
Yeah.
normally my deck is, I try not to let it drop below 10k, but yeah, I had a bit of a spend during the week. All right, so that if I now go back to pools, it's just showing
So now you're just stone. So you could manage. You could go to manage, and although you probably want to go. If you do want to do what I'm suggesting and spend your DEC on buy half, spend half of it on stone and then put them more into the pool, you'll probably want to go to Swap Hub first.
Swap Hub.
Yeah, as in
Here.
the trade hub and swap. Yeah. So look at your DEC balance and then swap half of it for stone. And when you've got equal value in both, then you go to manage and put it all into the liquidity pool.
So max is 11, so let's say 5.
Yep.
So that's 34 stone. Compared to the 20k that I've got, it's not worth it, is it?
Well,
oh, hang on, I've got 5.
5,000.
Yeah. Okay, that's better. 34k stone.
Now you have to choose a region to send it to. It won't be there long because you're going to just take it straight and throw it in the liquidity pool. But you've got to select a region to send it to temporarily.
All right, so Queenstone, which is where it's all good.
Yep.
Swap.
Yep, and do the swap. So you're turning half of your DC into stone.
Yeah.
The remaining half and that stone go together into the liquidity pool, and you increase your position in there.
Oh shit! So now I need another 5k stone.
No, another 5k of DEC, but you only sent over.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's going to leave me with 0 DEC.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I should have gone with 2.5 instead of 5. Then I was thinking 5 total. All right.
Okay.
Gotcha though. Gotcha.
You'll be all right though. You get
markets,
DEC dribbling in.
Yeah.
It's as long as you can get some more before your next harvest is due, right?
So
then
is
you
it
get manage
again? Yeah.
Yep. And then you're on the add tab, which is good. So then you just choose you got to choose your region first.
Yeah. 34. And add shares.
Add shares. But I could see this being a focus for you, to be honest, because I think it helps if you really, because you want to track your progress, right? And if you're progressing in 8 different directions at once, it can be really hard to know if you're doing well or not. But if you just that one metric, how well am I doing in the stone DEC liquidity pool? Can I build that up to aspirationally? Can it be 1% at some point? So now if you have a look at your share, it was 0.028, I think, and now it's 0.07 if my eyes are...
Yep, 0.075.
Yep, okay. Yeah. So you're not far off being 0.1%.
0.1, yeah.
Right, so that's something you can track and say, this is my success long-term in Splinterlands. Yeah. I'd even say, if you end up harvesting aura and then building whatever potions, making whatever potions are most profitable, and selling those. At the moment, it's only midnight potions, but over time, won't be too long before they add more stuff that you can use aura to make. You sell that, and then use the income to add to your position in the stone DEC liquidity pool and really focus on that. Since of your 5 plots, 3 of them are stone, it just feels natural that that's a good focus for you.
You notice too on here, there doesn't have the other resources. It only shows grain, research, and SPS.
That's how much you're generating, or is it how much you're using, perhaps? No, it's how much you're generating.
Yeah, but it
that's a good point. Maybe
stone, wood, and iron aren't there. It's still only grain, research, and SPS. So this is not showing me how much I'm actually making.
No, they haven't updated that. They haven't updated that on this summary screen. But that's showing all of your different regions at once.
Yeah. So now I've got Lumley is aura, Clifton, research, and everything else is stone.
Yep.
Okay. So if I go to Queenstone, just let's look at this, the rare one. Is it worth looking at improving some of these dudes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, depends what cards you have, but it's absolutely worth it to get more bang for your buck wherever you can with adding more PP.
Yeah.
I've got, like I say, I've got a heap. Yeah, I got heaps of land, but it's only worth it really for me to develop the best of the best and put the absolute best cards on there with the best totems and titles. And when you like look at the maths, it's for one plot that I've got really heavily developed, I could spend 1 million DEC on staking, or commit 1 million DEC to staking on 30 other plots and not get as much benefit. So if you, the more you can squeeze extra PP on there, especially when you got multipliers like that totem, and the fact that it's a rare plot, that's where you really want to have a look and say, what's the best PP I can throw on here? And that's why I keep saying, and B Jangles keeps talking, keeps mocking me for it, but I keep saying I'm going to retire from battling. Now that the alpha phrase are gone, that's far more viable too. I've been doing well in the gold foil silver league phrase for the guild.
So what am I looking at here?
So this is if you're changing over. So it's comparison. So the bottom row is if you're looking at an alternate layout, and the top row is what you've got now. Bottom row is what you're changing.
So I click on clear slot.
That's right. If you clear slot,
Okay.
then you'll get rid of that card,
Yeah.
and you'll see how everything changes. How what the total boosts are.
This
and all
bottom
that
row is giving me a preview of what will happen if I actually make the change.
The top row is saying here's what it is now, and the bottom row is what you're editing.
Okay. So how do I know, like, for example, my Arianthus here, what level is he?
Yep. I'm not sure.
I can't actually check.
So I think the idea is that you look at the current and new underneath, where it says how much production, energy required, grain cost, all of that, and then what it's producing, and then you compare as you considering changes, you compare the differences. So removing Arianthus has reduced this from this to this, decreased production from that to that, and then you could
to make
look at putting in a lava spider instead.
To make an informed decision, like, I mean, I can just go click, 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 and spend half an hour looking at each card individually. But if I can see
any card that's on that list that's higher than Lord Arianthus that you just removed is going to give you an increased benefit to this plot. So
how do I
lava
know
spider
what's
there?
Higher?
Well, Arianthus should be on that list, shouldn't he? If you were to scroll down and find him, Lord Arianthus, then anyone above that is going to be an improvement over him.
He's not on the list because he's already selected. So he's not on this list.
Yeah, I think he should be as somebody that you can select. But either way, you can have a look at him. It says up there, it says 4,602 is his.
He's definitely not on this list unless the page. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hang on a sec. It wasn't scrolling because this Zoom box of our heads is a pain as well. So yeah, he's definitely not a. Oh, here we go. Oh wow, there's plenty to go. Oh shit. Okay. It's not alphabetical. So.
But that said, it looks like he is. He's saying like 4,600 production, and I'm not sure if that's boosted or not boosted. In the top row there, where you can see that he's 4,602.
Is that PP?
Yeah. So just have a look at that production. 3,409 is energy required, efficiency, adjusted production, terrain adjustments, worker one details. So I think production 3,409 is what he's actually worth to you. So I think he might be one that you don't want to replace necessarily if you want to improve things.
But I think he's only level 1.
Why are we?
And even if I wanted to change him, this isn't telling me anything. It's not giving me what level he is, or even the PP.
Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe you can find him on Peak Monsters, perhaps, and have a look. And I like to have sort of the two tabs open and compare the two. But if you go and have a,
there's got to be a better way, surely. I don't need to be going. Well,
Well, I guess try. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'd back out of here because I think like a 3-day delay before any changes.
I'm not going to make any
Uh,
changes. I'm just trying to
yeah,
figure
yeah,
out if there is something, because I mean I've just harvested. This would be the perfect time, right?
yeah. So yeah, that number 4602 is kind of confusing me a little bit because if he's only a 1 BCX or a level 1, there's
I'm thinking
that's
I
quite
don't know if
generous.
I leveled him or not.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'm gonna go check. This is we're on Boba Fett, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Oh, he's level
Let's
3.
look at,
He's
okay,
level 3.
Arianthus. So here we go. PP 3409. Yep, his PP is 3409. So that's his base PP, but he's being boosted by other stuff on that plot. So any card that's more than 3409 PP is going to be more valuable than him in that slot.
And how do I discover that without checking each card individually?
Well, the
Adjustment.
list is
Adjustment. So, for example, my lava
yeah.
spider, is that going to give me 200 more than I've currently got?
I think it's saying that you're so that I believe the lava spider is 2000, but because fire cards get a benefit on this plot, you're getting a 10% boost to get it up from 2000 up to 2200.
You're right,
Okay.
Matt.
Yep. All right.
Right. So you'd want to generally cards that are showing up green here means that there might be, say, for example, Elric Stormbringer up above is going to give you more PP if you use him. But it's also more opportunity cost because Elric on a different plot will give you that same card on a different plot will give you a boost instead of a reduction. So if you're just saying, I don't care, all I want is the most highest PP on this specific plot, then you pick Elric Stormbringer. But of course, if you've got more than that and you don't want to waste all of that benefit by suffering a 50% penalty, you put Elric somewhere else and put a card that has slightly less PP, but you're using it more efficiently, like Lava Spider or Countess Sinash a little bit further down.
So really, I only want to consider something that's in the green for this particular plot.
I only ever assign cards that are green. I would rather take the haircut and retain as much efficiency as possible rather than any one specific plot getting the highest level. If that card's going to be better for me elsewhere, then I'll put it elsewhere.
In terms of PP, though, production, the Goblin Mech is the best one there. However,
Goblin Mech is the best one, yeah.
He might be better on a different plot.
Well, he's a neutral, so he's not going to get a boost or a reduction for any plot. So he's a good option there, Goblin Mech.
Actually, that is a decent option. It's not like taking anything away. It's just
it's an improvement on what you Lord Arianthus.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm getting 6/7 instead of 4/6.
That's an improvement.
Yeah, and if you go down a little bit,
will that then require more DEC though to stake?
What
maybe.
level is that? What level is it at? 115 BCX. Is that what it means? CC there to the right.
To the right?
Never mind. I might be confused.
So this is that's a level 10 Goblin Mech. I'm just checking on Peak Monsters. So that would cost you more DEC to stake than a level 3 Lord Arianthus. However, level 3 Lord Arianthus is like basically 75% of the way to complete, right? Because legendaries only go 4 levels. So he's like 75% and Goblin Mech is 100%. So you will require some more DEC stake to get the full benefit of the Goblin Mech relative to Lord Arianthus.
And in terms
keep in
of
mind
production,
too,
is that worth doing?
Yeah, I mean you're just staking a bit more DEC. In terms of production, I think it's definitely worth doing personally.
Okay.
But some of these other cards, like if you want to boost production, I think these lower end cards, the newer ones, 2100, 1687. I kind of feel like there's more room to swap out, say, Lava Spider or Countess Sinash. Probably more Lava Spider. Swap her out for Yeah, the one you're looking at. I'd swap her out for Lava Spider. But then, of course, you can't play with it, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
So if you put Goblin Mech back in that earlier slot, I think you have to select it for select the slot first, and then Goblin Mech.
Yeah.
Now, if we have a look, it says look down a little bit further. It says current and new, and it gives you all your details. So currently, without changing anything,
Yeah.
so with Arianthus and that other card, 15,420 production. Now, if you make these changes, you're adding another 3,400 production, so you're up to 18,850. You are increasing your energy.
6.8 stone an hour.
Yeah, but you're increasing the grain that you're going to need to feed them, but you're also increasing the stone that you'll get out of it. So you go from 30, roughly 31 to 37 and a half per hour on this plot if you make these changes. So that's sort of saying it's going to cost you a bit more grain and a bit more DEC, but also your stone production will increase substantially. So I think this is a change worth making. But how much do you use your Goblin Mech? How much do you use your Lava Spider?
Lava Spider, hardly at all.
Mm-hmm.
Goblin Mech, I do use him a lot, but there's other things I could use instead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So making this change is I'm losing 12% of energy requirement. That's DEC, isn't it?
That's your DEC staking, yeah.
And then
so you're going from 25 to 38. So you're going to have to stake some more. Yeah, you're going to have to stake nearly 13,000 more DEC.
That's pretty hefty.
Yeah,
that is, but you're not losing it. You're just staking it. So
yeah, but you got to have it to do that. So
that's right. And look, ultimately, if you do this if you make these changes without staking additional DEC, all that will happen is that your plots will just run that little bit less efficient until you can stake the DEC.
Yeah,
I don't think. I mean, I'm not saying make this change right now.
Yeah.
It's worth time to think about. But I would think swapping in the Lava Spider would be a bit of a no-brainer. I think that's probably going to be more beneficial than maybe mucking around with Lord Arianthus.
Yeah, and I definitely don't use Lava Spider. Bloodmaker, I don't use him either. I don't think I've ever used Bloodmaker. So how do I? So it's clear that. That's going to affect my overall productivity stats, isn't it? Having it empty.
Having that empty would affect you a lot.
How do I? I've got to scroll down and try and find Lord Arianthus.
It would get you down from 30 stone an hour to 24,201. It would reduce your grain consumption.
Can I do this alphabetically? I can. Excellent.
Is it under L for Lord? Or?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to make the change, you can just
scrolling bars, and one is not working. I have to keep switching it to the other one. So I figured out how to do this. So
he might not be in this list.
He's not.
No. Okay.
So how do I put him back here?
I think you're going to have to back out. Just back out of this screen. Just hit reverse.
Okay.
Then come back in and just swap out the Lava Spider.
All right.
As long as you don't save the changes, nothing changes.
Yeah. Now, how did I get into there originally?
Manage on the right.
Manage.
Change. That's it.
Change?
No,
that's not
actually not. Yeah. Sorry, manage on the left.
Yeah. So let's get rid of Bloodmaker because actually I was thinking in reverse then. Sorry. Let's fix this first. So let's get rid of him and put Lava Spider in there.
Your Bloodmaker's gold foil, and he's level 9. So,
How do you know he's gold foil?
because I'm looking on Peak Monsters.
It doesn't tell you that on here.
I think you can maybe. Can you see from the border?
Not really.
No.
Because here's my thingy. He's gold foil.
Well,
My
you've
Impaler's
got
gold foil. Look, he's gold. He's not gold.
you got the Boba Fett account. Looking on Peak Monsters has 2 different Bloodmakers. One is a regular foil,
Yeah.
level 10, that's not locked and is not being used on land. And
Yeah.
then there's a gold foil level 9 that the icon showing is staked to work on land and is currently locked for 3 days with 3,375 pp.
So why is my Impaler obviously gold? You can see, but Bloodmaker doesn't look gold at all.
Yeah, and your regular foil Bloodmaker is showing as 2,100 pp.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's CP, not PP.
This guy's 2,100.
Yeah, okay, so it's got to be that has to be the gold foil. Maybe the gold foil looks different in different editions.
Okay.
Like that Raging Impaler is like old.
Yeah.
Whereas the Bloodmakers are much
later.
newer. Yeah. But that's your gold foil Bloodmaker is the one that's working on land at the moment, according to Peak Monsters.
Okay. Which one's the better, the gold foil or the regular to have on here?
Oh, it'd be the gold foil for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
you're getting far more PP for the grain that your grain and energy that you're assigning to him.
Now I never use him, so he's fine on here. But if I go down to green, Countess Sanash.
Yep.
Let's have a look.
1650. He's getting 1421, so she would be a slight improvement.
1421.
Yeah, so see production. It says production up the top there, 1421, and that aligns with what I'm seeing on Peak Monsters, 1421 PP.
I do
use
base Countess
PP.
Sanash though.
Yeah,
Hardcore I don't use very often.
Right,
he's the
that'd
same.
be an improvement.
All right, we just got cut off by Zoom. We reached the end of 40 minutes. That went so quickly. All right, so the only change we're going to make at this point is I'm going to swap out Kai for the Lava Spider. That just makes perfect sense, no-brainer. Now, by doing so, I'm going to need to stake some more DC. Actually, let's do this first then. So that's all I need to do. I just save changes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I haven't got anything else we messed around with. No. So
Yep.
Save changes. Lower the efficiency production. Yeah, that's okay. It's not going to be worse than what it is now, is it?
No, it's only for a couple of minutes anyway until you stake the DEC, right?
Right, okay.
And you just did a harvest, so...
Thanks, Matt.
No worries.
Confirm. All right. Now, how do I stake the DEC?
A little bit further down is confirm. I don't think you can stake it as yet. I think you've got to do this confirmation.
Oh, okay. So old 30.
So you're going from...
It's three difference. Is that because of the DEC, or will that go up with the DEC, or is that assuming the right amount?
I think that'll go up when we add more DEC. So let's just note 33.406.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Now to add more DEC, you see there's a row of icons just along the top of the screen or top of this page to the right. To the right. Yep. So this row of icons, that's the one you want. So add the little plus. There's a little plus button on the right.
Yeah.
This is your total amount of DEC staked in this region, and now you can just add 7,500.
How do you know it's 7,500?
Because it said we suggest staking another 7,500 earlier.
Was that on the
you can see also
screen?
on the previous screen, but it also says energy required.
Energy required. Yep. Yep, I
Yep.
see.
So you need 63.9. You have 56.4.
Okay.
So if you go and stake another 7,500,
if I put max, will that
you can
max that?
try clicking max. Try.
Okay.
Yep. So
So
that's what you need is
automatically put in the correct amount.
Yep. To bring you. Yep.
All right. Stoked.
All right. So that should be. There you go. So now if we go back, and what did we say? It was 3406 was your stone per hour.
Yep.
So now if we go back and have a look.
Where is it gonna?
It looks like it is still 33 point.
Where are you seeing this, Matt?
Just above your, on the right there, it says
33.405.
capacity used. Yeah, so I think that's the same as, I don't think that's changed with the extra DEC staked. So I think you were right. That initial amount that we were shown was assuming that if the region
the
has
maximum rate.
at 100% capacity,
Yeah.
this plot can produce 33.405. It's just for a minute there we were at just less than 100% capacity till you stake the extra 7,500.
Now, where it's got current grain cost, which is going up,
Yep.
is that just because they're working?
Yes, that's to feed them.
All right. Okay, so hopefully we've accomplished something in this episode.
Well, you're more conversant with navigating around the screens and where to look and what to compare to. So I think it's somebody watching can sort of get a feel for it and a hint for it. And if somebody hasn't had any land and they're thinking about maybe buying a couple of plots,
there's no way they're going to do it now.
It's worth engaging with. It is a game, right? That's the whole point, is learning to be better at the game.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I see that being a good focus for you, Bob. Anyway, the stone liquidity pool.
Right.
Then you can put a figure on it and say, in the last month, I've had a 20% increase in my thing I'm measuring instead of my 20 things I'm measuring.
All right. And Matt, how much deck did you send me all up?
It was like 10 and then 8, so 18.
All right. I can send you some Hive, or I can convert it to deck and then send that to you as deck.
That's all right. They can just be for your birthday, whenever your birthday is.
Actually, that's coming up pretty soon in August.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Cheers. The big 6-0. All right. So I think we accomplished. I hope we accomplished something in this episode. I hope you learned something. Gio, you had a pretty quiet run for this episode.
Oh, I'm quite happy. I usually am loud, so yeah, no, it's good to take the seat back at the back seat.
He had some impact. He and I, while we were doing that, we
you guys snuck in a battle while I was doing it. So what I'll do is I will drop the link. Actually, we can watch it now.
Have I sent the link?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Yep. I'll send it again.
Yeah, I've got the link.
Okay, cool.
So,
but I think we should maybe do a separate equal opportunity episode.
Yeah, definitely, because we never.
Yeah.
I mean, I said at the beginning we probably wouldn't have time. I think the land was more important, and it might prompt some other people who also set land up at the beginning before we knew any of the stuff we know now, and they haven't touched it. Hopefully, haven't scared you off. And
yeah, we covered some stuff. Campaign mode, dive in there, have a look. That's good fun. Holozor's handwritten community, dive on that if that's of interest or appeal to you.
Alrighty, so guys, what's going on here?
Well, I was talking to you, so I sent the challenge and didn't sort of register that it was. I was thinking we got 9 minutes, but that's how long the challenge lasts. The invitation lasts.
So Gio is trying to sneak in a surrender.
Hey, look, I sent the challenge and he accepted. Fair's fair. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah.
Right.
So I've got 2 attempts at Bloodlust here because opportunity Bloodlust. I like Jared Scar. I think with True Strike, it's handy. Often with equal opportunity, people like to play very fast, low health, high speed cards, and so True Strike I think often cuts through that. And Jared Scar, once he starts building up some momentum, he's still never going to miss. But he also regrows his armor. He gets more and more dangerous and brutal, and 7 damage. So I'm that's my thinking behind this. Looking at this, I feel like I might be in a bit of trouble, just because there's too much magic damage inbound. Geo's it's a fairly low mana match.
I do like this play with the double weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. And those 2, the Will o' the Wisp and the what's
So
it called,
good.
Riftwing. Yeah, so good, especially
It
with
targets
the
like a wide range of things.
yeah.
Does opportunity still target the first card?
No, just the. In this case, it will because I got a taunt.
Yes,
but ordinarily it's just the lowest health card that doesn't have camouflage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, opportunity does not target camouflage. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, you can't target a camouflage card. I think he's more played that for the speed boost though.
You're right. 100%.
Slow.
So
slows
Chaos
down the
Agent's
opponent.
going to be the first target here.
Yeah. And he does a bit of backfire too. So if I do miss him, which is another reason I like Jared Scar because he never has to worry about backfire.
Yeah.
If I do miss him, then I'm taking backfire damage. So I think Geo's got this one.
Chaos Agent has dodge anyway, so he's not going to get anything really from the summoner.
That's true.
And also the resurrect.
There's actually 2 resurrects, one on the Skok and the summoner.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the Archon.
But you've got no bloodlust at all. Oh, hang on.
I do.
Yeah, yes, you do. Sorry, trap.
And he's got weaken. Like, how good's that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I have a
his main
confession.
problem.
Go.
These 2 are the unknowns here, I think. Right? If they start ranking up, but if not, then it's got to be Geo.
Some time ago, I actually accidentally burnt my trap Holloway, so I started from 0 again not too long ago. But I'm already at level 4. Hang
on. You don't skip past that. How did you accidentally?
Don't know. I looked. I wasn't even aware that I had done it. I looked one day. I was like, "Where's my trap?" It's like level 1. What's going on here? Like,
would this be because remember you were burning all of your gold foil for
possible
for deck while it was still possible? Maybe you picked the wrong one?
It was either before that or after. I don't remember. I don't recall a time where I would burn him, but it happened. So now he's at level 4 again, so it's okay. I mean, after the 200 packs and how fast packs come now.
Oh yeah, we should check that before we go too.
Yeah.
But okay, let's play this.
Yeah. I've held that one for months. That one I haven't told a soul.
Yep, there goes Chaos.
Yeah,
that backfire.
Yeah, it's so
potent.
But then he's died twice and given me two bloodlust boosts.
Yeah.
But there's no way I can punch through all of that.
No.
With speed and dodging and all of that. And I think that play there where you've got your weapons training guy Geo. One of his no attack cards that gets attack has headwinds, and the other one has silence. So no matter almost what's going on, you're going to reduce incoming damage with that and just keep hitting so hard. Really, the only sort of option I had, looking back here, if I'd have had some sort of a magic reflect with amplify play, then that could have been a viable sort of a deal. But yeah, it is very, very difficult. Even if you know it's coming, you're kind of going to struggle to counter it. So good game, good win.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
that
good play,
great.
yeah.
Good.
I've got 125 packs here,
Oh,
and I have 55 on Tartaria.
it's really good.
We're getting
Really
close
good.
to how are you going, Gio?
151 packs.
On Pufe?
Yeah.
All right, so
I haven't checked the other ones. I could.
maybe another 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and we'll have
So.
the 200.
Oh, I actually burnt some just regular foil soulbounds to put towards Glint, ones that I've already maxed.
Yeah.
So now I got an extra boost for the legendary ones that I still need. So yeah, I'm on 273,000 Glint. So with 6 days to go, and season end is at 118 at the moment, I'm going to have like probably 400 maybe. I don't know. More.
Okay.
Who knows?
So we should be probably ready to go for episode 180. We're going to have a dartboard on the thumbnail for that episode.
So has that been like 180 weeks?
Yeah.
That's insane.
And we haven't missed a single episode in 180 weeks. Yeah.
Despite all the change-ups that have happened since then, right?
It's like 3+ years. It's substantially
52 in a year. Yeah, that's
wow.
3 times fits in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah,
there you go.
Episode 180. We should have another 200 Gladius packs. And let's just do it. Episode 180, 200 Gladius packs.
Despite whatever we have, yeah.
So that's 400 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Sweet. Let's do
And
it.
if you have a bunch of Gladiator packs that you've been saving up and you want to come on the episode with us and just have a massive opening of Gladius cats, comment below or hit me up on Discord. And thanks, Azicon, for your 5-plot post. I'm going to have to go and self-medicate now and maybe book myself in for some therapy as well. But at least I think we're moving in the right direction. Yeah. All right.
All right, boys, fellas. It was a good one.
Thanks for joining us. We will be back next week with 179. Yeah. Boba Fett. Peace out.
Bye.
Yeah. Wow.
Sweet.
Great work, chaps. I'm getting a bit peckish. I'm going to go grab some lunch.
Okay.
That's fine.
Have a good one.
Oh, yep. Hold on. Before you go.
Yeah.
I think I've looked at Conclave Arcana, whatever it's called. This one card, even at level 2, I think is... Yeah. I think I'm actually going to buy it because I was like, it's too good not to.
Okay.
Check that out. Well, what do you reckon for level 3 stats? How stupidly insane. I know it has the burn thing, but imagine putting like some
what are level 3 stats? Want to show us?
No, yeah, I've showed you, right? Isn't it? Oh no.
It's only level 2.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. For level 2, just like off the bat, like check this out. Look at that. That's stupid.
What is the thing next to the fire? The ability.
Yeah, that's attacks from anywhere.
Any position. That is stupid.
Yeah, I'd be a bit worried with the incendiary though. That's never worked well for me with the other dude that has that. It's never worked well for me.
But that's why you put your thing there. He can attack from anywhere. So put your martyrs. Man.
Imagine a martyr level either side.
Yeah. And he can attack from anywhere. How stupid is that?
Yeah, he's only going to last 2 rounds though. Like that incendiary is going straight to his health, not his armor.
True.
He's going to be burning and that's it. He's gone.
That's an equal opportunity card though for low mana.
But low mana, even back to basics, melee mayhem or super sneak, like he's going to be doing it. That's a decent amount of damage per for a 3 mana card.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I really
the
like?
gold one. Yeah. What's up?
Continuum Seer. I just got beaten with one earlier. today. It's a rare reward card
Reward
that's
card,
in the thing at the moment. She is so quick, and she's got backfire and phase. And in the right spot, it was a magic only match, and I was like, "Oh, I've got him now." I was just about to skip ahead, and I just started missing in the backfire.
Wait, what card?
Continuum Seer in rare reward
this?
card. Yeah,
Okay,
you will have heaps of them.
Reward.
Rebellion reward, 4 mana, fire card.
Top right.
Yeah. Ah.
You have a look at her stats at max mana, at max level. Sorry,
8 speed.
6, 7, and 8. She just adds speed with backfire and phase in a magic only match. I just kept nothing was going right. I'm thinking summon her with Yasik, right? Who's get another +2 to speed.
Yeah.
Gets outrageous. If it's magic only, who's going to hit her? Are there any magic true strikes out there?
10 speed.
That's nuts for a magic only match. So I'm really
and then
I'm just
another
like spending
card
all my
with
glint on
sprint.
rare draws now. Yeah, well, I mean, how many other low mana cards are there? Say in equal opportunity, like a Little League rule set. I've got so many fire cards that boost speed, like Flame Imp and Goblin Shaman, right? So I could just stack their magic as well. I can literally just stack them, and no one's going to hit her. Even if it's not a magic only match, right? The only thing I'd be worried about is Magic Reflect.
Yeah.
But again, if it's a Reflection Shield match, then Yasik and her.
That's why I'd rather use this guy. I'd rather just use Crash. And with like, let's say with like a phase person like Sispa, right? 8 speed, like it's kind of better already.
But he doesn't do back.
Oh no,
he doesn't do back.
Right.
He doesn't do backfire damage.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Right, and he's vulnerable to magic. So in a magic only match, the combination of backfire and phase is that to me is like that's where it gets fun. Absolutely, Crash has got some some good stuff about him too, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it's magic only, especially if it's got Reflection Shield, because she's very vulnerable to Magic Reflect.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's a card that I've seen, and I'm like, Equalizer, yes. Reflection Shield, yes. There's a lot to like there. Even with that kind of a speed, if it's back to basics, she can hit very, very early. She's going to go first. That can help a lot too. So anyway, that's just
with 3 attack, that's actually pretty high hitting.
That's pretty great for 4 mana card.
Yeah.
But the speed on it, right? That's the So anyway, that's just one I've noticed and I'm excited about. Look at us, we're spilling all the top tier tea after we finished recording.
Well, I'll keep this. You haven't said anything that you shouldn't say after I stop. We're still recording.
This is bonus content. This is Big Brother After Dark. This is the adult cut right at this is great. Okay, if you hung around for this,
for
congratulations.
Watching it right to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
For putting up with Bob and
all right, I guess we'll say goodbye again then.
So an hour of Bob having a mental breakdown, followed by some actual useful information right at the very end for those who stuck around. All right.
All right. I'm out.
Peace out.
See you guys.